Hello members, Ryan Cazzetto, your Chief Executive Officer, and today I have Aaron Olaf, our golf course superintendent, with us. We're out here at the Turf Center, and this is part of our update and turf talk that we'd like to bring to you and let you know what's going on out here with the renovation. So before we get into that, I'd like to just ask Aaron a few questions. You know, Aaron, you're coming off of a tremendous week with the 2021 Tababui Cup, fantastic course conditions. What have you guys been working on while out on the golf course over the course of the last 2 weeks and the beginning of the month of March?
Yeah, with the month of March really beginning, a lot of our important events, we focus a lot on two things, really the details of the golf course, so a lot of edging, a lot of cleaning of accessories and painting and stuff like that. But then we also are upping our frequency of cuts on all the playing surfaces so that we can provide the best playing surfaces we can during this period, Tababui Cup, leading in club championships, and then, you know, our final events here in March and early April. So really our focus is on providing the best golf course we can. Minimal project work this time of year. We'll save that for May, June. Really right now it's all about presenting a good golf course.
Fantastic. Well, you and your team have done a tremendous job, so thank you with that.
Yep, thank you.
And with that, let's get into the Turf Center renovation and an update. It's been 3 or 4 weeks since the last time we've come out here. And just walk us through kind of the transitions and the changes on the materials storage bin, and really what are we going to be storing back here when this is ready to be turned over to you and for your use?
Yeah, so you'll see obviously big changes since our last update. The entire structure is completed at this point. It's kind of tough to see here with the construction vehicles, but there are 8 individualized bins back here. They all range from 12 foot wide to 15 foot wide. And you can see the roof elevation here will go anywhere from 23 to 28 feet high. And the reason why we wanted that height is so that we can dump full loads with the semi backing in there and extending fully to dump inside the concrete pad, so that all of the materials we buy we can keep clean and free from the elements that could be exposed if it was just dumped in the open. So
members, here we are. We've actually moved into one of the materials bins location. This is one of 8. And with that, Aaron, give us some details on, you know, how wide are these? What's the depth? And just talk us through kind of some of those key components here today.
Yeah. So each sand bin is 35 foot deep, front to back, and then our width ranges anywhere from 12 to 15 foot, and that varies really based on how many loads at one time we want to store. So the narrower bins would be more things like our divot sand, where we only bring in 1 load at a time. The wider bins would be more for bunker sand and green top dressing sand, where over the course of the summer we may have 3 or 4 loads here at a time to get us through our summer projects. And then, so 35 foot deep, 10 to 15 wide, and then these sidewalls are all 6 foot tall. So it gives us a good amount of space to store what we want to store.
Excellent. Well, this is obviously a huge improvement compared to what we were previously using for material storage, and I'm sure you're excited to use them here in the near future.
Yes, very excited about it.
All right, members, we've actually moved over now to the chemical storage area. And as you can see, this final detail is being put on right now. We've got the exterior paint and some interior work. Tell us the function of this room once it's ready for you.
Yeah, so this will serve as our storage for all pesticides and liquid fertilizers that we use on the golf course. Really stressing on the liquid fertilizer standpoint, we've definitely tried to minimize the amount of chemicals we actually use on the golf course, but in the time of need, we do use them, and this is where they'd be stored for their proper use and storage.
So now we transition over to the chemical wash station and the equipment refueling station. As you can see here, an abundance of space. How many vehicles can we actually get in here at one time for the washing process, Aaron?
Well, we'll have approximately 60 foot just devoted to washing equipment. So essentially we could wash up to 6 fairway mowers at one time. And you know, 60 feet, that's probably about 10 carts at one time. So we have a lot of room to wash. There'll be 6 hoses here for the guys to use. And that'll be important as far as transitioning from one job to the next and getting the equipment clean and returned back to mechanics so they have an opportunity to check it before their next use.
So Aaron, now we're walking over to where really a lot of our site utility work is being completed. Talk a little bit about what we're doing here with the new fire line. Obviously this is a benefit both for the community as well as for the safety of the new maintenance facility. So walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, so behind here you can see where they're just finishing up backfilling the fire line that we had to install. So we'll have a couple of fire hydrants back here closer to the buildings, whereas before the closest one was all the way out there on Edgemere Way North, and I believe the other one is out on Livingston Road. So in the event of something bad happening, a fire, the water sources are much closer to the buildings, which would help minimize any damage that may occur from a fire. So building B, as we refer to it, is going to be the new employee lunchroom, bathroom, locker room area, offices. We'll have 2 areas to store additional equipment, along as the equipment technicians area is going to move over here as well. So we're going to pull them away from the current storage, give them their own space to operate. And then last, on the far south side, will be our new fertilizer storage building.